This is a mock interview conducted by Forum IAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent professors, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
May I come in, sir?
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Bhavishya, you have completed your BTech only in 2020,
Yes, sir.
and I take from IIT.
Yes, sir.
So it is the second attempt, but the first interview.
Yes, sir.
I see. From IIT Computer Science, there should be no limit. Huh? Why the civil service list of babus you want to be?
So I did try both research as well as corporate sector, but I realized that data meaning and satisfaction could be derived through civil services.
Job satisfaction, you will be better.
Yes, sir.
I'm making a statement.
Yes, sir.
One who controls present controls his future is one statement. The other is who controls present controls his past.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell meaning of these two statements?
Yes, sir. So firstly, one who controls his present, so that is, he has the power of present, so he can actively shape the future.
So that is one as simple. What about the other one?
Yes, sir. So, but as many, famously including George Orwell, has said that who has power in the present tries to shape history. So the victor writes the history. So one who controls the present can also rewrite the history and can control the past.
Rewrite the history.
Yes.
So generally, what are the sources of history?
So history has many sources. So there are direct sources like the pamphlets, the stone tablets, etc. But there are architecture, the art. There are oral
these
sources.
are statistics. These are not changing.
Yes, sir.
So if I control present, how can I change these? These are already there.
Yes, sir.
How do they then try to control, rewrite?
Yes, so it's called historiography, where history also has a ideological or a bias. So we can always give some emphasis to some things over others. This leads to bias.
There is something called subaltern history also, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
So subaltern history is this modern emerging branch of history which focuses on ordinary individuals. So subaltern means Bahujan, so or not kings or nobility, but ordinary workers or
The history
farmers.
of common man.
Yes, the common man history. Yes.
Okay. So being a student of computers and sciences,
Yes, sir.
you know the immense potential that this particular subject has.
Yes, sir.
So how computer science could be helpful in altering history?
So sorry.
Altering history. We know it
Yes,
can
sir, yes.
it can make your future.
Yes, sir.
So many things are emerging. So I'm not going to ask that question.
Yes, sir.
I'm going backward. How can you alter history using computer science?
Yes, sir. So increasingly using AI, we can create deep fakes. So we can create evidence that are really hard to distinguish from actual. So we can create a post-truth reality where we can fabricate evidence, we can fabricate images, we can fabricate sources. So increasingly in the social media age.
So you can't create history, recreate history. You can fudge history.
Yes, sir.
You can say that, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, political science and international relations. BSNL, MTNL and BSNL,
Yes, sir.
they wanted to upgrade, but they did not. And Jio and Airtel and everybody is having field days.
Yes.
Now they're going to 5G also.
Yes, sir.
Now, what you see as a future of MTNL?
So MTNL. Increasingly MTNL has reduced market share in telecom industry. It is also technologically and professionally backward.
But why? It is a government company. It can always do better.
Yes, sir.
What are the reasons for its decline?
So due to it's a government-backed company, so it does not face the same market pressure, and it does not have the same expertise or availability of capital that Jio or Airtel has.
So the other day, Parliament passed a law.
Yes.
There's the amendment of CRPC.
Yes.
Are you aware what was there in the amendment?
So it is about the other types of evidences like bio samples that would be included. Is that the?
Yeah, bio,
Yes.
the DNA. What else was there?
So, it expands the scope of kind of bio evidence that would be included. So iris samples or.
But Aadhaar already has got your iris.
Yes, sir.
It has got all fingerprints and thumbprints.
Yes, sir.
Do you think this bio information would not have been enough for controlling crime?
So, Aadhaar does not have all the kinds of biomarkers. So
These are two.
Yes,
These
sir.
are two Aadhaar has.
yes, sir.
It's got photograph.
Yes,
You can call it bio again.
Yes, sir.
But it's got fingerprints and thumbprint and iris.
Yes, sir. So, but the bill expands the scope of.
But why they? Well, basically, that is what the
Yes, sir.
question
So
is.
it would enable the forensics department to curb the crime. So it would.
But iris itself is very accurate.
Yes, sir.
Its mistake is 1 in a million.
Yes, sir. So,
So why not go for iris, which is already there? You have collected already from everyone.
yes, sir. So, but in most crime scenes, the iris of the criminal is not available. So, the usual kind of evidence is either a hair or a nail or a blood
No, you
droplet.
can take iris.
Um,
You can take iris. As you are going to collect these, you can also collect iris and ask the Aadhaar authority to give Aadhaar card for them, so that in future also they are recognized. No?
yes, sir. So,
Is over enthusiasm to collect information, how dangerous it is.
yes, sir. So it's very dangerous. It hurts the privacy, which is now a fundamental right after the Putta Swami.
Okay. Now this mobile phone
Yes.
in our hand,
Yes, sir.
how many industries it has disrupted?
So the mobile has disrupted many industries. So first, the service sector, the old service sector jobs have been disrupted, and new service sector jobs are created. For example, digital tourism, digital taxis, everything digital hotels. Further, it has disrupted. It has come up with the online version of everything. So online health, online education, etc. So increasingly, it is disrupting some niche areas like language translation or voice assistance or the personal secretary. So many industries have been disrupted. And the chip industry has seen a boom due to mobile manufacturing.
So you could think of cameras.
Yes, sir. The Canon has closed shop.
The camera. Anything else?
So
Messaging,
yes, sir.
letter writing,
Yes, sir.
emails,
Yes, sir.
and
So post office.
digital diaries.
Yes, sir.
So you can have n number because.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, Pegasus you have heard of.
Yes, sir.
How ethical it is and how dangerous it is.
So definitely for national security in this cyber world, we definitely need something like Pegasus. But at the same time, it has serious ethical issues involved, like privacy of citizens, mass surveillance.
So surveillance through Pegasus of judges and opposition leaders.
Yes, sir.
What national security issue is being addressed in that?
So yes, that would count as a.
Those are issues.
Yes, sir.
And my last question is about the electoral bond.
Yes, sir.
They say electoral bond is it is black money has come out. It is not discouraging black money.
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, it is the person's identity will not be revealed.
Yes.
Donor's identity will not be revealed.
Yes, sir.
How do you think good or dangerous it is?
Yes, sir. So definitely it is beneficial. It reduces black money. It reduces cash. And now, but at the same time, there are several concerns. So there is greater opaqueness. There's issue of cronyism. There is concentration of electoral funding in major parties, national parties.
Which is more harmful?
Yes, sir.
Harmful or less harmful?
So electoral bond is a good idea, but at the same time, we need regulation so that the issue of
But how anonymous it is? They say nobody can know about the donor.
yes, sir.
How anonymous it is?
So we do need anonymity because otherwise.
No, how anonymous it is?
Yes, sir. So SBI and the Chief Election Commission can see the records.
And but SDI is a government company. So do you think government can't know it?
So, but Election Commission is the.
No, that's right. But government can control the other that don't go and give money to others.
Yes, sir.
So don't you think it is against democracy?
Yes, sir. Those amendments need to be brought.
So, Bhavish,
Yes, sir.
welcome.
Thank you, sir.
I can see a very extreme shift in your, liking from computer science to political science.
Yes, sir. So during my final year, I did electives in political philosophy and I developed relation in international relations. I developed an interest in international relations that made PSIR a natural choice. And further, so CSE was not available as an optional for UPSC.
Okay. Let me ask you a very simple question.
Yes.
Do you think political science is a science?
So, so political science is also science, but there's also a deep philosophical dimension to political science. So Machiavelli, Aristotle, they consider political science as a science which can make prediction, which can make descriptive claims. While there's also a philosophical aspect that Plato or John Rawls or J.S. Mill talk about. So it is both. It is not similar to hard sciences, but it has a scientific aspect.
Okay. Any Indian political thinker who has influenced you most?
So the thought of Shri Aurobindo has influenced me.
I'm giving you one quotation. You have to give your own perspective about
Yes.
this. It is about foreign policy, India's foreign policy.
Yes, sir.
My teacher used to say, I am from political science only. My teacher in DU, he used to say
Yes, sir.
that Pakistan may be enemy number one,
Yes, sir.
but China is threat number one. How far you agree with this statement? Is it still relevant?
Yes, sir. It's very relevant, especially after the LAC crisis. The threat from the direct security threat from China has become ever more relevant. So, though India's security focus has been on Pakistan and the LOC with Pakistan, but increasingly we see that even both there's a China-Pakistan axis. So we have a two-front threat. So, and because China is more economically, technologically sound, so actual threat lies with China. And though Pakistan could be an instrument of China.
Okay, good. Do you think India's foreign policy is unnecessarily too much of Pak-centric policy?
So I don't agree, sir, because I think Pakistan's policy is too much India-centric. But India first has a neighborhood-first policy, which actually focuses on BIMSTEC more than the Pak. And India has a strategic partnership with all major powers, USA, Russia, Japan, even China. We are trying to cooperate as well as compete. So, no, sir, India does not have an overly Pak-centric policy.
Okay. What is big brother attitude?
Yes,
Have
sir.
you heard of this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So often our neighbors, especially smaller neighbors like Nepal, Bhutan, complain that India's attitude towards its smaller neighbor has been big brother-like. So for example, the best example is the Madheshi blockade, India's behavior during the Madheshi
No,
blockade.
big brother means what?
So India is big brother to the smaller nations. It's demographically, economically, technologically, militarily.
No, I'm asking what is this connotation, big brother attitude? What does it stands for?
So it's India's attitude that sometimes tries to coerce its smaller neighbors.
Bullying.
Yes,
kind.
bullying.
Yeah,
Yes.
coercion.
Yes.
Huh? Okay, last question from my side. What is Act East policy?
Yes, sir. So, Act East policy is the further intensification of the Look East policy that we started in the 1990s. So, we are trying to, it's part of economic diplomacy. We are focusing on a good relationship with ASEAN countries. It has also a strategic dimension to secure our Indo-Pacific. So, it's,
Okay, good.
yes, sir. Thank you,
Sir.
sir.
So Bhavishya,
Yes,
you
sir.
have chosen international relations and political science as your area of study.
Yes, sir.
A few days back, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin came to Delhi and met PM Modi and requested that Stalin should be allowed to help directly Tamils of Sri Lanka.
Yes, sir.
Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu should be allowed to help Tamilians of Sri Lanka. What should be the response of central government?
So we should definitely, because there are ethnic and familial ties between Tamils in Sri Lanka and India. So we should definitely promote this para-diplomacy, where state has the capability, it can help those in need. But at the same time, we should not. So the center should guide this. So there's no issue of violation of sovereignty of Sri Lanka or anything that is negative influence on our bilateral ties. But it should be promoted.
Foreign relations is a state subject or center subject or concurrent subject?
So it's a it's in the central list, but increasingly there's a new domain of para-diplomacy where states try to participate in.
You have mentioned that you are interested in predicting the markets. Huh?
So I'm interested in predicting global events, not share or stock market. So it's
Forecasting or prediction markets is mentioned.
So prediction markets is the mechanism through which you can participate in.
So don't deal with stock markets
No,
and
no.
crypto. Okay, perfect. You have shown your interest in cricket also?
Yes, I played cricket.
All right. UP has an IPL team this time.
Yes.
Can you tell me the industrial house which owns this UP IPL team?
Sorry, sir.
All right. You are a science student. Tell me the non-jargon language that how does Pegasus, that is spy software,
Yes.
how Pegasus collects information from mobiles of people? A very normal and jargon-free kind of answer, which I, with no science background, can understand.
So Pegasus is very novel zero-click malware. So it can enter your phone without even you clicking a link or opening something, going to a website. So I can just call you and that could enter the Pegasus malware in your phone. And then it can activate, and it's a very advanced military-grade malware. So it can adjust. So it will not be available to you. You cannot detect it in your phone. It will try to collect information from your phone and try to send the server. And when its purpose is over, it can auto-destruct. So that's how.
Okay, so can I get that if whatever conversation messages I have, it will be available to anybody who has access to this?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Give me other technical answers. For example, when I want to go from here to Connaught Place and my Google Maps very clearly shows that congestion is there, that much traffic is there. How does Google tell me?
So Google mainly uses the GPS, global positioning system, which has becoming more and more accurate. It's now up to 1 meter accuracy. So and then it mixes it with AI algorithms that helps in dynamic, comes up with dynamic traffic routes, etc. So those would be the techniques that Google uses.
So, as an administrator, don't you think this Google Maps is security risk? They know each and everything about us, our movement, our streets, our roads. What is your opinion on that? Are they not a security threat?
Yes, sir. So there's definitely a trade-off between convenience and security. So users are giving up their privacy and security for greater convenience. So increasingly, the new policy, we have liberalized the regime of mapping regime. So even India now can provide, the Survey of India now can provide, Indian startups can provide such services. So that would ensure greater security. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. So, hello, Bhavishya. You have some very interesting hobbies, like amateur USA and China watching. So, what exactly you follow? Say, when I talk about USA, so what are the kind of things that you follow?
Yes, sir. So I try to follow the foreign policy as well as domestic developments in society.
So can you tell me the process through which the US presidents are elected?
Yes, sir. So US have a two-party system. The presidents are elected through an electoral college. So
talking about more about the process, you must have heard, the terms that are used, caucuses, primaries. What are those things?
Yes, sir. So there's a primary within a particular party. Then there's a candidate elected who then participates in the national election, which is done through electoral college.
Don't you think that such kind of a system is missing in Indian politics? We talk about dynastic politics. There is no inter-party, intra-party democracy.
Yes, sir.
So how do you think that we should, bring that culture here?
Yes, sir. So definitely to promote intra-party democracy, we can have a sort of primary, which will allow different candidates within a party to compete.
Can we make a law regarding this?
Making a law would go against freedom of the political parties. But Law Commission has recommended that we should promote intra-party democracy. So maybe a softer code of conduct would be done, but law would be different.
Okay, and one very good aspect of there is they have these debates.
Yes.
When the candidates are finalized, they have these debates.
Yes, sir.
How do you think that should also be, adopted within Indian system? Like we have very elaborate political campaigns, but one-on-one debate on issues, that is missing.
Yes, sir. So that change can be brought in our political culture when the major news channels or major newspapers can organize or host debates, and they can ask the participants to.
Like you just, Sarvan sir asked you mentioned about predicting events.
Yes, sir.
So, do you know about game theory in that context? What is game theory?
Yes, sir.
So, what is game theory?
So, game theory is part of is a multidisciplinary science. It includes computer science, economics, etc. So, in game theory, there's rational actors who try to maximize their interest through tactical as well as strategic planning. So, game theory can help us in predicting others' behavior as well as optimize our behavior.
Can it help predict the outcome of Ukraine-Russian conflict?
Yes, sir. So game theory is really a useful framework. So, for example, we can predict that a ceasefire will happen when both sides, Ukraine as well as Russia, have a face-saving position to their own domestic population. So Russia would try to pretend that it has also won, while Ukraine at the same time could claim that it has also won. So that could allow a peaceful resolution.
Okay, one last question. You have interest in artificial intelligence.
Yes,
you have presented a paper.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is Turing test?
Yes, sir. So Turing test was proposed by Alan Turing. It is a test to check whether the artificial intelligence has met the standard of a human intelligence. So if you can beat, if an AI can beat a human in a conversation on a general topic, where the human cannot detect whether it's an AI or a human.
Has it happened already?
So actually their Turing test is not clearly signified. So we have good voice assistants that have reached significant level, but clearly the general aspect of
Eugene, I read some time ago, Eugene kind of a chatbot was there.
Yes,
Has it passed the Turing test?
So it's difficult to say because it's not clear what exactly the prescription of Turing test would be.
Okay.
So
and what is sentience in terms of when you talk about artificial intelligence?
yes, sir. So sentience would refer when AI becomes conscious of itself. It becomes self-reflective. That would be.
Is that a dangerous thing?
Yes, sir. That could be a danger. Skynet.
Shouldn't we put kind of a limitation on the capabilities of AI so that it never achieves sentience?
So we need regulation for. So we need. It's called ethical AI. So we need to regulate AI, and it should not be a risk to humanity. So.
Okay. All right. I think that's all from my side.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.